Begin with the invocation. Saraswati Namastubhyam Bharade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada Vasudevam Satam Devam Kamsachanuramardhanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Hari Om. Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Yes. Hari Om ji. Can someone recollect what is it that we've seen? We form the link and we can move ahead. Anybody, please feel free. You can just, yes, please. Yes, ji, Gayatri ji.
So in third adhyay, Krishna is explaining to Arjun about the actions we should not selfish, matlab, without self interest. So all the actions, all the work must be done as offering to God. Otherwise, it will cause the karma bandhana. So Krishna advises Arjun to perform his duty as offering to God. In the beginning of creation, Lord Brahma created people with sacrifices, sahayagnaha, and told them that you should grow through the sacrifice and they shall bestow upon you all you wish. They shall, they will give you. Who? Demigods,
Yeah,
the
now,
celestial gods.
yes, ji. This creation of Srishti itself is an act of sacrifice. This is connected with a later adhyaya of the Gita,
Okay.
where Krishna will talk about what is this Adi Yajna. I mean, Arjuna is going to ask, what is that first? And why is it a sacrifice? Also, Krishna is going to explain to us. So we just have to recognize that even the very creation itself is on the founding principle of sacrifice. So from there, if that is the founding principle of the creation, it is applicable for everybody in every part of the world. Without sacrifice, we can't proceed. Yes, please. Yes, ji.
So the celestial gods, being satisfied by your sacrifice, will grant you all the desired necessities of life, like water and everything. They are administrator of some departments, like we are paying our taxes, like offering sacrifice. This is my
Okay.
understanding what I'm saying.
ठीक है, most welcome. Please continue, ji. Yes.
So, uh,
Sri Aurobindo has
but
called
though,
these all the gods as typal beings. Typal
okay,
beings who have reached a state of evolution, definitely ahead from all human beings. So they each one is in having a particular role. Yes, ji.
okay. Those who enjoy what is given to them without making offerings in return are verily thieves. They are
Hmm.
like thieves. Okay.
Thieving
So he,
beggars, thief and
yeah,
beggars.
thieving beggars. So he who eats the food, without offering, uh, it's like yagna. Jo, who he is offering the food before, who eats the food left over from the yagna is sant. And those who cook the food only to nourish their bodies and eating it only. So eating only sins means
What is,
they
yeah,
pachantya.
what is the symbolism behind that rather than the exact meaning? What can we understand from that, Gayatri ji?
That we should first of whatever is there, it belongs to God,
Okay.
and whatever we are getting, it's from
This
them, and we are just
yeah,
offering to.
in the undistributed leftover, no, the means the left, what is, means we don't eat anybody's anna, isn't it?
Yes.
We call that uchishta, or somebody says somebody has already tasted the food and we will not eat from some other plate. But now here we are told that give to everybody and what remains. So what can we try to draw an inference from this? What does that mean? Anybody? You are not going to consume any sin if you are eating The leftovers. What is the meaning of this?
Means that
Like a
whatever
prasad.
Yeah,
we
okay.
have, we should not be consuming it all ourselves, but we must
Because
share
it has
it with
been
the
given.
divine.
Yes,
Yes,
it is not
it
talking
belongs to the
about the
divine.
food. It has come from the divine.
From the
What is
divine,
given to me, I have to not greedily take everything which is given to me from the divine also. I don't have to greedily consume all
eat
of it.
everything.
Yes, yes. Rashiji wants to add something. Yes, please. Yes, ma'am. Yes, Shashiji, you were adding something? No?
No, I'm
Okay,
sorry.
fine. No problem.
Having issue with
Pravina ji?
my.
Yeah, Pravina
Yeah.
ji, please tell me. Yes, ji.
We have to develop a sense of gratitude,
Ji. Yes, yes.
and
There's
that
one.
is to be practiced every day or every
Yes.
meal or whatever.
And for everything that we have received in life, isn't it? We should not try to suddenly be like greedy and try to become the owners. If God has given me a beautiful day, I will not greedily say it's my beautiful day because I have got it. Instead, why not I share all the good and beautiful things in this day with all the people I care for or whomever I can share with. And then what remains with you is that, yes, yes, anybody wishes to add? Sunita
Yeah,
ji?
yes. I just wanted to say it is like whatever it is, it's a prasad from God. So you're just distributing it, and then we always say whether it is food, whether it is our everyday what we go through is a kind of prasad. So if we take it like that, it always feels good, and it is a kind of distribution also in
Yeah,
if
yeah.
it is.
And
And
even
whatever
in
we are
difficult
eating,
moments.
we should offer to God first, then only we should eat.
Mm. Yes, yes, yes. That is also means there is a symbolism behind why we do that practice also. Then very nice mantra is said. Tvadiyam vastu govindam tubhyam eva samarpayet. The guy you have given me, I offer it back to you. I have got some strength, some talent. It's not mine. Let me use it for you. What is the offering I can give to the divine? If some talent has been given to me, I will use it. An artist will draw a beautiful artwork as an offering to the divine. If that offering action is lost, that person becomes greedy because I have done this, I am the owner of whatever comes from this, I alone, and slowly that covers the person's psychology, and the principle of yajna is lost. When the principle of yajna is lost, the spirit of things you have forgotten because the srishti is working on the functioning of on the principle of yajna. You have forgotten that. You have moved away from the core essence, and then it is visible in the actions. And that is what how people are caught in karma bandhanas. So yes, please, would you like to continue, Ji? Gayatri Ji, would you like to continue?
Ji. In
Yes,
next
please.
shloka, Annat Bhavati Bhutani. All living beings' existence depends on food. Food is formed through rains. Rain comes from sacrifices, that is yagna. Yagna
Hmm.
originates through karma, and karma is born of Brahma. So Brahma is all pervading Lord and eternally present in
Hmm.
all in acts of sacrifices.
Yes, Ji.
So that is a customary cycle, and who does not follow this cycle and enjoys the pleasures of his senses is sinful and lives in pain. It lives in vain. Mogham jivati. The word is.
Yes, yes. A person who is bound in the sufferings. I mean,
Yes.
even if you let us assume a food also, how much food can we eat on our by ourselves? Maybe I
Very
will eat
little.
so much. Then after that, what will happen? When if I'm not very calorie conscious, my body will make me, isn't it? Afterwards, sometime or the other, it will come to me. It is something like that. And anybody who decides, I don't believe in the principle of sacrifice. I only believe in just consuming things for myself, everything in this world. I think this is one very interesting philosophy. Runam krutva gritam pibet. I think this was Charvaka's philosophy.
Take
Meaning,
loans and have ghee.
yeah, ghee, runam is debt. So there
That
is one approach. One approach says runam krutva gritam pibet. He says drink ghee, get in loan. I mean, get money from people and keep purchasing ghee. The meaning of that is because nobody knows what's going to happen tomorrow is what his approach is. But now, just assuming that if we take a loan from someone, say I have borrowed money, and for I don't have any next kith and kin for me. I have not had any children, and there is nobody else. I have enjoyed with a lot of money, meaning my income may be very little, but my borrowings are so much. And I say, I'm not going to return 1 rupee. I've seen a very big industrialist saying, I took this much crores from the bank, I'm not going to give them. He's saying so happily. I have decided I'm not going to give them anything, and he got it written off also. So he was somewhere very proud of his skill in getting that loan written off. But now, for example, I gave you a hypothetical situation of mine only. Say if I have incurred a lot of debt, enjoyed my life, and at the end of life I have died, and I have nobody else. Did I enjoy very well? Did the loan disappear from the earth or somebody has given to me? Have I not left behind an imprint, where the imprint of suffering, some to somebody else, whose money has not gone? So that basic philosophy, instead of that, if we recognize that I'm already in debt the day I'm born, we have what we call runa. Matru runa, bhratru runa, pitru runa, deva runa. Can we repay the debt of our parents? None. Can we repay the debt of anybody who has been nice to us, who's helped us? We remain in that, and that allows us to let me at least pass it on, let me pass on something good rather than going into the vicious cycle. This is a different attitude, and that is the attitude which will allow us to be humble. That will be the attitude which will allow us to proceed in the right direction without losing track of the essence. Because the moment we lose that, we go into a cycle of destruction. That is what the Gita is talking about. You are losing your essence. You are losing the core fundamental principle of life. You are moving away from yoga. And what happens to a person who is away from yoga? Experiences the sufferings of viyoga, separation from the divine consciousness. That is only, there cannot be a worse suffering than that. Isn't it? Isn't it? Can there be anything worse than someone who does not even realize the truth, living in falsehood completely? Maybe that person will say ignorance is bliss, but that's a pseudo bliss. No, it will come
Yes,
back.
of
It will
course.
come back. You cannot permanent. So that is what Krishna is talking about here. Ultimately, that somebody who follows not this principle of sacrifice is going to waste a life. Such a life would be a wasted potential. Yes, please continue, Ji.
Okay. But those who rejoices in self, contented within the self, such awakened persons are fully satisfied in the self. For them, no work is due. So, therefore, Krishna advises Arjun to perform his prescribed duties constantly without attachment, because acting solely for duty leads to the highest spiritual realizations. Okay, by performing the duties, like Janaka, Raja Janak,
Ah,
example is there. Raja Janak and other attain perfections by performing their prescribed duties constantly and with selflessly. So Krishna says to Arjun that you should also perform your duties to set an example for the good of the world.
okay. All right, Ji.
So the
So for
key
the low,
message, okay.
yes, please continue, Ji. Yes, Ji.
So the key message is working without selfish desire and dedicating all efforts to the divine is the
Okay.
path to liberation.
All right, Ji. Thank you, Gayatri Ji, for bringing us up to date. And this is an important point. If you see, Krishna has told it is how we have to perform. Tasmad asakta satatam karyam karma samachara. Elsewhere, Krishna has talked mukta sangha samachara. Detachment is the freedom. If you become detached, you are not at all bothered about the consequence. You can perform your duties better. Can a doctor operate when the doctor is very emotionally invested and attached in the patient? It's not possible. It is not. And that is the truth, isn't it? What can you do? We cannot do anything. If you hear a bad news, like actually in the last session, I got a sudden news that's why we could not have a summary that some family member suddenly had to get admitted in the hospital. Now, what can I do immediately? I am not a doctor at all. That is not my kshetra. What I can do is maybe I can do the other duties that I can provide food and other aspects, move here and there. But beyond that, what can be done? Nothing. Nothing is possible. We have to do our duties, and Krishna says, Satatam Karya. It is at all times. And this is how great ones, great heroes have come into existence. How ordinary people became heroes. Well, they were following this principle. And what was their motivation? Krishna says, Loka Sangraha, betterment of the world. For the sake of the betterment, I have to do my duty. Whether what is it going to give to me? Why do we have to worry? Best example. Best example is in Ramayana. You know the role of the squirrel, isn't it? Anyone? Can somebody tell me what was the role of a squirrel in the great avatar's battle against
He was
mighty
helping
Ravana?
in making Ram Setu.
Ramasetu, isn't it? Now, is that a insignificant contribution? Why
Not
is
at all.
that not an insignificant? Because whatever is possible, it is somebody, if you see, it is not just in the, it is a spirit with which things are done. And in life also, don't we value when we receive a love and that spirit which comes to us without any, what we can say, T and C? If imagine if somebody does something good to you and say T and C apply, terms and conditions apply. We don't like that, no? Somebody does good and then immediately explain, see, I did this, now you must do all of this. The happiness that you got for the good that was done to you is suddenly lost. This person did not do it, was a transaction, it was not really a selfless act. So if we feel like that, why not give to the world the same good what we like? We have to do our duties, and Loka Sangraha is a great, great source of inspiration. We saw Dr. Abdul Kalam's example, such so many examples are there of people who have been driven by that continuous drive to make the world a better place. Wherever they are, whatever they do, every action. That is something which Krishna says. But the question comes, why? Why do we need an example? Why do we need to set an example? In Maharashtra, many times this is
Because
one nice phrase, Shivaji should be born, but in the neighbor's house. Because
people
he had to
follow
go through
this
some.
type of
Yes, ji?
famous
Yeah.
characters.
Yes, people follow, people get inspiration. If you even sometimes people get very annoyed, this government department, nobody does work. But no, in the government department, you have to find the right person. In the 15 people, there will be one person who might be doing the work of all the 15 people. But if that person also does not do, the department will collapse. But slowly, when that person continues to do that work, that person becomes the example. One Gita class, one participant, actually a participant's mother who became a part of the session, she shared her example. A government official who was absolutely incorruptible. She did some really beautiful, she was given she became acting head of that department because the head of that department went away. And she just had to sign, and it had no liability to her for giving that signature because legally somebody else has given the documents. She just has done in the income tax department. She just has to sign it because she is an acting person in charge. But she said, I am today sitting, I respect this post so much, I respect this post, so I better go through it. And for some reason she started scrutinizing everything, records. Others came, some of them even were a little chauvinistic in their attitude, and so they tried to, what you are doing, you don't know this, don't do this now, just wait. Now that let it be, that sir also would never do it. Why are you worrying to look at it? No, she said, I have to do it. That time she was not aware of Krishna, or she did not do as offering to Krishna. Now she would do it as an her life is changed. But still, she did it as an offering to the sense of spirit of integrity of her profession as a duty. And suddenly she saw two number plates of same number in that entire firm, and there was like two different insurance claims for the same vehicle. That is wrong. And then a big scam got unearthed. Why? Because of one person's. And from that time onwards, she started being respected in her department also. She started being feared also as a fearless person who is going to stand by the truth always. So look at that. I think growing up also we've had examples, isn't it? Parents will say, be like bhaiya or be like didi. Immediately we will like some people. We used to like somebody when we were kids who were our idols. Krishna is saying that you will become the example when you walk on the path without your knowledge. And that's a great way to bring transformation in the society by becoming the example. It is something like a lot of people talk a lot of good things, but very few people do those good things. And the people who do good things are always better than those people who talk about it. Because that parrots also can repeat things, no? But real action is when you walk the talk, and that is what Krishna is talking about. These are the examples. He gives the example of a Janaka Raja. Janaka Raja was the rich sage, as Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj is called, Srimanta Yogi. It's like if we want to use a phrase, monk in the Ferrari, something of that sort. Not corrupted by wealth, but every aspect of the wealth is being utilized. We do upasana of Mahalakshmi, isn't it? Why is that we do that? Because we want to increase our FDs or we want to bring about harmonies in our lives. She is the goddess of harmony. Yogaje Yoga Sambhote Mahalakshmi Namostute. This goddess will start functioning in our life when? When we are going to become conscious. So for becoming conscious, first we have to become conscious by actions. By karma is what Krishna is saying. Do each action and you become the example and watch what transformation happens. Prosperity will follow automatically. And that is what we have to see. Krishna goes on. Let us see the next shloka. Yad yad acharati shreshtas tattad eva taro janaha sa yat pramanam kurute lokastad anuvartati. Whatever actions the best amongst men perform, the other men seek to imitate. Whatever standard he sets as the norm, the world tries to follow and emulate. So whoever is the best, that person sets the examples, that person sets the bar. Like you look at the athletes in the Olympics. One person sets the record and suddenly the level is, raised so much. And then everybody across the world try to reach that standard. And in that process, what is happening? There's evolution, there is movement. So that is what you have to be the example, is what Krishna says. Let us continue further. Name parthaste kartavyam trishu lokeshu kinchana nanavaptam avaptavyam varta eva cha karmani. Look at that. Krishna is walking the talk and he gives his example after Janaka. Oh Arjuna, I have no duties to discharge towards the peoples of all three worlds at large. There is nothing I haven't gained or seek to gain, and yet I perform my duties, come sun or rain. He says, I have no duties remaining. I have already achieved all that needs to be achieved. It's like one who has already achieved everything that needs to. I think it's very difficult to imagine in many of our lives because we feel a lot of things are incomplete. We want to complete certain things. But some people who have done a lot of good, like I was just we talked about Dr. Abdul Kalam. There is somebody called Professor Arun Tiwari ji. He's a friend of, he was an advisor when Kalam sir was the president. And he has written so many books. He has done so much good deed. He has developed some heart stent, and it's an interesting story, which maybe some other time, if it's relevant, we'll cover. I just had a conversation with him. Now I'm not writing any more books. I have written all that I have need to write. He started for him, I think, with Wings of Fire only. With Kalam sir, he wrote that book. And then afterwards, Transcendence, final book of Kalam. So then he started his own commentaries on Kabir, his own commentaries on Tulsidas, his own commentaries. It just went on, went on, went on. I used to keep wondering every time, new book, one more, one more. And now suddenly when I thought I'll ask him if he would like to collaborate. That time he says, I have now finished writing all my books. Because that is a state after completion. So Krishna says here that he has completed all his duties to the world. He does not have anything. And yet, in spite of that, He does always his karma. His duties are never over, though he has actually fulfilled all his responsibilities. If Krishna says that, do we have the authority saying, I have done all that I need to do now? Enough. No, not at all. Not today, not when we turn 99 also. We will not settle down just like that. We will keep doing our actions. Karmas will never stop. That is why Krishna is saying that there's nothing I have gained or seek to gain. And yet I perform my duties, come sun or rain. But does this sound like Krishna is boasting, patting his own back? See, I'm doing so many duties always. A lot of people have that. Is that the same thing, or why is Krishna saying it here?
He's trying to set an example that people are watching him, what he is doing.
Easy means
People
one
will
place he
follow.
said, yeah, people will follow, meaning Krishna, is he trying to indicate that we can become like Krishna?
Maybe. Yes.
We can
Yes,
practice.
exactly. Exactly. Meaning, look
We
at
can
that.
practice.
Yes, yes, yes. Janaka's example is given because we should become like Janaka. And then Krishna is not just satisfied. He says, Arjuna, look at me. Meaning, Arjuna can also attain Krishna's consciousness. And then comes the big question. If Arjuna can attain Krishna's consciousness, what about me, or what about anybody else in the world?
Hello.
Don't they have the potential to attain? Can we attain Krishna's consciousness in
Of
our life?
course.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir, absolutely. Maybe that should be our aspiration. As Tilak Maharaj had once said, Swaraj is my birthright and I shall have it. We should probably seek Krishna consciousness or Sakshatkar as our birthright. And we should aspire and strive to have it. Maybe, and let us take a pledge. We will try to achieve it. And if any of us do get it, we'll probably share it, isn't it? We're not supposed to consume whatever we get on our own. So that is important here, where we see Krishna giving us the option that we have the potential to reach the higher state. The higher state, and how are we going to reach it? Through karmas. Krishna goes on further. He says, what happens if I don't follow the path? यदि ह्यहं न वर्तेयं जातु कर्मण्यतन्द्रितः मम वर्तमानुवर्तन्ते मनुष्याः पार्थ सर्वशः. If I did not meticulously perform my every action and lead by example in every aspect, O Arjuna, all men would follow likewise and ape my path in every respect. We must have heard Yatha Raja Tatha Praja. How is the king? That is how the followers are. Organizations also. How is the leader? That leader is going to become the prototype for the entire organization's followers. The ethics of the leader will easily be visible in the followers. Here, that is why sometimes we have some very powerful cults. The leader of the cult is only absolutely having a very horrible character, then everybody in that cult will feel that is the standard. I have to stand by that horrible character only. So it is important. It is important to set a very high standard. And Krishna says, if I did not set this high standard, if I did not follow it in every action, in every respect, the important aspect is means there cannot be bits and pieces of good characters followed by bad characters. He says completely. If I don't do in every way sincerely, means look at the sincerity of Krishna here. I have to not give a chance for anybody to go away from the path. That is why no matter how much people try to accuse Krishna of so many things, we see everywhere he has stood. He has stood by. Yes, Shashiji wants to add something? No,
No,
all
I'm
right.
having issues with my. I'll
Internet.
have to log out and come back
All
in
right, ji.
again.
Fine. Yes, please. All right, ji.
Sorry.
No, no problem. Let's continue. So this is something
Thank
which
you.
we see here. Krishna is saying, and then next shloka, we see the scary side of our beautiful Krishna also. On the shloka number 24, he says, "Utsi de yurime loka na kuryam karma chedaham sankarasya cha karta syam upahanyami mahaprajaha." For if I were to not follow this path of action, the people shall follow suit and sink to destruction. I would become the perpetrator of pandemonium and then have to slay them all for the opprobrium. So Krishna is saying very clearly, if I did not follow this path of action, people will follow this thing. People will start spoiling the society. They will entirely, everybody will go away from the truth. What will that happen? It will create confusion, isn't it? It will create absolute chaos or anarchy. And then what happens? He says, then this is the dangerous part. Because he says, it's my duty to take care of the world. I will become the destroyer also. Yes, जी.
He says, Jaka Guru hai Andhra, Chela hai
Hmm.
ja Chand, Andhe
Hmm.
Andha Theliya, Donyu Koop Parant.
हाँ.
Means, whose guru is blind, the disciple
Hmm.
is born blind. So they both will push each other and will ultimately fall into the well.
Okay.
It's like
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
better to,
Hmm.
it's necessary to choose the right person whom to follow.
Yes, yes. Yeah, and if the path is sincere, no? If you are the Shishya is sincere, knowledge will come because Guru Tattva is there. There's the divine is sitting. Means many times what happens is people then I have actually seen heard of people also. They decide which is the right guru to follow over a glass of alcohol. They take the stats. This person has so many followers, n number of this, that. So I think this is more profitable. But that way we can. That is very difficult for a shishya to choose the guru. It's more like it is something like a. It's a event. It is actually as celestial as the meeting of a guru and a shishya. But one need not so much worry as if our sincerity is there. The divine guides us. And if a person is by suppose like if the chance is there that the teacher is not right for some reason, then the divine is sitting above them. The divine is always sitting in the moments, circumstances easily will take the person to the right path. So just because sometimes the fear, and what you say is very true. Like there's also another phrase, like Guru banana jaan ke, pani pina chhan ke. Become conscious like your water you select and drink, so like that become conscious when you're walking because it's a life changing decision, and that is true. But this is very important to see that Krishna, whom we all know his Saumya Rupa, we know he is so loving, we see his smile, we give beautiful alankar, we do all the beautiful decorations, all of it. But we also here he is saying that I will have to destroy, I will become the destroyer, the Raudra Rupa. That is why tantrics also like they worship Ma Kali, they also worship Krishna also because he's also got that element. But how does one understand or come to terms with our Krishna being the destroyer? Well, it's just like a gardener, a gardener who is growing a garden and suddenly the garden is overtaken by weeds. What option does the gardener have when all the plants are taken over by weeds? You'll have to pull them and uproot them for a new creation to take place. If no more, no more something can be done. It has reached a critical mass where it cannot be anymore corrected. Then it has to be destroyed for the start of something new. That is all we see here. Krishna is saying, and he says, I don't want that. And that is why I keep intervening at all times. Let us continue. Krishna goes on. This is a very beautiful shloka which teaches us how to work with people in collaboration because many times we don't find selfless people everywhere. No, when you are taking part in a group work, also sometimes you are in a project and say in a workplace, you have to collaborate with some people. Can you sit and start giving them Gita advice? Krishna has told in the Gita we have to follow selfless attitude. Look at your selfish nature. It will not work at all. But how do we understand or how do we should we find only people with same attitude? That's good always, but many times you don't have a choice. It's always good if you have a choice, you can choose. But when you can't, how do you work with somebody who is diametrically opposite in perspective? Well, this shloka teaches us so nicely. You understand the other person also, how they are working. You don't have to follow them, but you can understand them. सक्ताः कर्मण्य विद्वांसो यथा कुर्वन्ति भारत कुर्याद् विद्वंस तथा सक्तस् चिकीर्षुर लोक संग्रहम. Oh Arjuna, just as the men of ignorance perform their actions all engrossed in attachment, so too the wise remain motivated as none to better the world by their works in detachment. Means this is how a functioning of people is. Understand it, Krishna is saying. Like earlier also, he talked about two types of people. Can anybody recollect? Two types of buddhis. One sees oneness, another sees divide.
Yeah, the day and night metaphor was
Yeah,
used
yeah,
in
exactly. And a vyavasayatmika buddhi, eke hai.
Vivasaya.
Yeah, then and then avyavasayatmika buddhi. One sees everywhere oneness, one other sees divide. Another, as Gayatri ji said rightly, that one sees night where the other sees day because the perspective is so divergent. Here also we see that. Means it's important to understand that people can have different views, isn't it? Does
So
everybody have to
both
have?
are right at their, both are right on their perspective, from their
But
perspective.
but some can be false also, isn't it?
Okay.
Means that is true. Means like that is true. If you see everybody now, the thief is right from his point of view because this is my. I'm following Chaurya Dharma. I'm following the dharma of a thief. Other person says I am following the dharma of the protector. But on the highest truth, there is one. But what we see is not everywhere. We are, how do we deal with everybody? We have to understand. We can coexist. We can coexist with people of opposite perspective. Somebody can call me a fool, no? Yes or no? What is wrong? Everybody has a right to that. According to that person, it may be I may be a fool for that person. Just your life, your choice of life, your actions, everything are foolish. It's all right. If I have to collaborate with that person, I have to understand what is wise according to that person and then understand. Because for such a person, what is the motivation you should find out? Then only I can collaborate. Otherwise, I will keep trying to point out my point of view. That person will keep pointing, and there's going to be chaos. That is what Krishna says here. He says, see, how does a person with ignorance perform? Completely in attachment only. All actions are done in attachment because that is a sign of ignorance, and such a person is going to be always driven by attachment. Attachment towards what? Selfish reasons, name, fame, XYZ. There are so many attachments. One of these attachments that person is going to function by. Just like that. Just like how the ignorance are attached and their driving force is this attachment, the wise have a wonderful driving source. They also have a driving force, that is remaining detached and performing lokasangraha. These are two different motivations for people. Now comes the next shloka. What do we do with these two? Because normally you feel these are absolutely two, it's like fire and ice. You bring together, it is going to create problem, these two philosophies. But next shloka, very nicely we can see Krishna say in the 26th shloka, Na buddhi bhedam janayed ajnanam karma sanginam joshet sarvakarmani vidvan yuktah samacharan. Now, this is a magical word. Na buddhi bheda. Do not create a bhed in the buddhi of that person. Imagine you go to a selfish person and say you are going to suffer in life because of your selfish actions. Krishna has told, according to the Gita, you are running after material desires. This will lead to your destruction. Will you be able to sit quietly next to such a person? You may be sitting quietly, he will not let you. He or she will attack you for hitting and trying to create a divide on the very basis of that person's thinking, isn't it? But question is, what is important for us? Is it important to take the work ahead? Work which we recognize as Krishna's work, divine work has to go ahead. Then we can still identify a middle path. That is what we see. Let us look at the shloka and let us see if its practical use is there in our life. Because the reason we are doing this workshop is also because we want to bring Krishna's principles into our life to bring about a transformation of our own life and probably in the process go closer to Krishna. So let us see if this works, this particular shloka. Without creating a divide in the ignorant minds, a middle path the intelligent mind finds. He gets the right work done from the attached, despite his remaining fully detached. Meaning the intelligent mind understands that Acha, this is the motivation for this person. Get the right work done from that person without having to change that person's point of view, without having to change that person. Let the anybody else has to learn. Satya will come to that person when that person is ready. No, truth will manifest. No, you have to. We cannot become dictators, can we? I enforce only my way. No, it's all right. Somebody says I am very adamant. Well, above 18, everyone is free to do what they have to do. Legally, I'm saying. Otherwise, even sometimes some people are very wise at even 15, 14, 13. There's a different story. But above 18, somebody is there. Now you have decided this person is adult. This person says, I just want to go and swim in the swimming pool without having to wear the uniform which has been told, the swimming trunks. I'm going to wear ordinary clothes. You are an experienced swimmer. He says, nobody, he says, no, I will not listen. You have done your job by telling once. No need to do next. The security guard's job will come and take that person out of the swimming pool or bar that person from coming in. As simple as that. That person will learn then, isn't it? But we have not taken the entire responsibility of becoming the guru of the world, no? Many times this happens. Without appointment, self-appointed gurus keep roaming everywhere. Don't do this, don't do that. I have to tell you, this is what you are doing. Hey, I did not ask no advice. So same way we don't like when people give unsolicited advice. We should not fall into that category. Krishna clearly says, "Na buddhi bhedam." Without creating a divide, the intelligent mind finds a way to take the work ahead. Our Duryodhana was going to get a kavach, isn't it? Complete kavach which will protect him, make him invincible in the story of Mahabharata. What did Krishna do? He just went and spoke in the language of Duryodhana's ahankar. Shame, puppy shame, whatever he said. He said that, and next immediately that person's ahankar did the work. It was enough, isn't it? It was just enough. So it is simple. Intelligent mind finds a way without creating a disturbance in the mind. Why this is important not to create disturbance? We will see later in the Gita. It connects to the Shraddha of a person. And Shraddha is very, very essential for each individual because that drives the person. And until that person gets a better, higher realization, you can't break the Shraddha also of anybody also. So just do your duty, find the middle path. Is this useful in everyday life is my main question to this particular, where can we see a practical application of this particular shloka? Anybody? This concept of na buddhi bheda, not creating a divide. Where can we find its use?
Everywhere in day-to-day life, like in office, or
Example,
like in
example. Somewhere means without having to, we can even just give a hypothetical situation also. If not, but
let me think.
okay, fine. I can just share one example, and then if anybody remembers, you can just go ahead. Like, for example, now when we had formed a group of alumni on the like a WhatsApp group of alumni, somebody told us one of our teachers is in a very bad shape financially, and he's got a childhood special needs, and now that person is retired, and we are in real big trouble. I mean, he's in big trouble. We need to do something. There, what happened is how many minds, that many ideas, no? So everybody started, we have to form a trust, we must do this, then we must do that. Another person, why do we have to look at only one teacher? Let us make a database. I will do this software. All extra drama was going on. So whatever it is a free group. So everybody gives their ideas. Somehow we were going towards the front. But every time we came to a harmonious conclusion, there was one person who was creating the disharmony and again breaking the what we can say unanimous decision whenever we were going to make one. And we were all very disappointed. Some of us who wanted to quickly initiate something, we were getting frustrated. What is the meaning of this? And one person called me because they were on the admins, some of the admins in the group. I think we just take that person, throw him out of the group. We will be able to go ahead. But if you do that, you will permanently lose a friend. This is a friend and is a well-wisher that way. Only Buddhi has gone on vacation maybe. whatever reason. So what do? We decided to do something very funny. Why is this person behaving such a way? Because that person seeks importance. That person wants to be somebody who is in charge. And because nobody is giving him that, he is doing that. We just felt that is his driving factor. He just wants to get a name. So personally, one of us called him and said, "We need your direction. What you have given is a beautiful idea on a large scale. I think this would be revolutionary. But before we enter into your revolutionary idea, let us first work on this case as a trial basis." And you will not believe that same person who was our opposer, he, in the first 4 months, he was the taking it ahead. He took the project ahead single-handedly, calling all the people, connecting donations regularly. And after 4 months, he lost his drive because it was getting boring and tiring. And he himself told, "I have now given all of you the direction how you should go ahead. I am now withdrawing." So what happened here? We had a very nice thing, and he created a system in place for us. And now it is going on for nearly 5, 6 years, maybe longer, if I'm not mistaken. 6, 7 years are up already. We just send a message, and we have now a good set of people. Small contribution by everybody, but helping again started by whom? By somebody who was actually the great opposer of all of it. And a simple aspect was we gave him that what he wanted. So it helped us, and we didn't lose that friend also. So this is one example I can think of. But this shloka is so nice that we can actually work with a lot of people who are having different mindsets also, without ourselves being disturbed, without disturbing the other person also. Because find the middle path. What is the sutra? Somebody says, "I am doing selfish work." But you are doing work, isn't it? Let us do further work. You do it this way, I will do this way. But let us ensure the work goes ahead. That is what Krishna is talking about. And it's a very nice way for management also principle which Krishna gives to all of us. If anybody wishes to share something, you can share it, or we continue with the next shloka.
Yes, I would like to share if you allow.
Yes, sir. Yes, please, sir.
Sure.
Most welcome, sir.
Sure, yeah. In the gym, what happens is I'm a fitness trainer. So
Okay.
nowadays, the students are coming they are watching on YouTube,
Yeah,
performing
yeah.
their exercise in the gym.
Yes.
And now I'm working as a trainer since last 15 years. So and in depth I have knowledge. I mean,
Yes, sir.
uh,
Yeah, yeah. You have
it
experience.
was just it is just by the God's grace.
Yes.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I was like preparing many students to perform to compete at national level bodybuilding competition. So when client comes to us and when we advise that if we have noticed that the person is performing wrong, and just so that he or she shouldn't get injured, we are telling him or she, so this particular exercise should be done in this way so that it will give you maximum muscle contraction, plus you will be prevented from injury. But the person
Yeah.
doesn't listen. So
Huh.
instead of arguing with that person, I prefer to stay quiet. That allows me to the same person is exercise keep continuing exercise in the gym. And one whenever he or she came to know, or he or she faces such situation that they are suffering from injury, they came back to us and then ask us to, now you can guide, you
Now you
can
guide.
ask, yeah,
Yes,
now
yes.
you guide. So this happens many
Yes,
times.
yes.
It is
Yes,
better
yes.
at that time not to argue with them or not to force them to do this way only.
Yes.
But time will tell them that yeah, he was the
In the
person who
language they
was
will understand. Probably, let him do 10 repetitions, he will understand it is the wrong way. The muscle will become very sore. You will not allow it to become a great injury, but you will allow that person to understand what it is. Absolutely, sir.
yes,
Totally.
yes,
And yes, this is, and in so many ways, because sometimes our life becomes miserable because of the perspectives and attitudes. This is one nice shloka with a great relevance for everyday life. Let us just continue. We go to the 27th shloka. Prakrutehe kriyamani gunaihi karmani sarvashah ahankara vimudhatma kartaham iti manyate. All the types of actions originated from nature, quality, and their interactions. The ignorant one who is by his ego deluded thinks his outer self performs the all action. For the ahankari person feels, I am only doing. What is God doing? Where is God? I did everything. What do you mean by God did? The best answer to that question is the Kavali only, which says, तूने क्या बनाई, तूने क्या सजाई, सब किया है तो उसने, तूने बातें बनाई. Because the understanding is has to come. You have just created stories. What was the ground on which you built? You didn't own it. It has been created. But that is forgotten by a person driven just by the ego. He thinks his outer self performs. Let us continue. Krishna goes on. तत्त्ववित्तु महाबाहो गुणकर्म विभागयोः गुणगुणेषु वर्तन्त इति मत्वा न सज्जते. Oh, mighty armed one, those who know the foundation, how nature's qualities through works function, know that sense is attached to sense objects and are unperturbed and detached in all aspects. Those whose foundation is very strong, they understand guna karma, what is the nature of guna and what is this. The gunas we will understand later on in the Gita. The qualities in nature, how it is the functioning of nature only, and how a person is going to get trapped and ensnared. Such a person understands that no, 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 I cannot run after the desires. Means just simple. A person with a very high sugar reading, if that person is ignorant, what will that person do? That person will keep eating sweets only, isn't it? Oh, mango season. Now I'm going to have amras only all the time. When will that person realize when the sugar eating shoots too much, or when we can say hyperglycemia will give some indication? But the wise person understands, yes, wonderful season is come, but I am not going to get carried away or attached to my senses. I will know this is going to become a poison. It is sweet, but it is a poison for my body. So let me not eat. That is the difference of a person who has the understanding versus a person who does not have it. So that person remains calm, remains undisturbed, and doesn't get carried away by the senses. Prakrute guna sammudhaha sajjante guna karmasu tan kritsna vido mandan kritsnavin na vichalayet. These qualities of nature bewilder the ignorant who wish not to forego attachment at any instant. He who knows from should from disturbing them abstain, and from altering their mental state he should refrain. Again, Krishna is giving a second time. He's like what he told earlier, na buddhi bheda. He's just understanding. See, people with attachment will live by that principle. No, stop going to try to change them. Krishna is saying, a person who is driven by desire, you cannot convince that person at all. Sometimes it's difficult, but sometimes you have to let go. That is why Tukaram had once said, I think it was Tukaram's words only. I'm not sure, Sant Tukaram's words or some other great Sant of Maharashtra. Budte hai jana pahve na doda. My eyes are not able to see this groups of people, hordes of people sinking into what? Ignorance. But that sometimes you have to let that happen. You cannot do anything until a person has to realize it is like that. He should know, he knows, he who knows should from disturbing them abstain, and from altering their mental state he should refrain. Psychiatrists also talk about the same thing. Even to their patients, even if they get consent, they don't totally try to change the state of mental state of the person because it will shake and break that person sometimes. If that person is a psychotic, he will attach the psychiatrist, he will attack the psychiatrist only. Over one psychiatrist whose neighbor, his car was set on fire by one of his patients. That is, otherwise, if the person is neurotic, that person will attack the self only. And it's sometimes, we must understand, it's sometimes it is a not in our hands also. And we should not try to disturb another person's mental state just like that. Understand they are going to be confused. And you should not, if you should refrain, maybe you won't avoid, keep your distance also from somebody like that. But again, it is important. It is difficult to practice, especially sometimes when somebody is very close to you. But if they are not following the truth, they're not going to listen to you. You try once as a duty, But beyond that, you can't try to force somebody to see what you see. Instead, just continue with karmas, let them learn through example. A mother wanted her daughter to learn the Gita. She said, I'm trying, I'm trying, I'm trying. She said, you tell me how I can make my daughter learn the Gita. I said, ma'am, when I was in college, my mother wanted to read the Gita, I would cover my ears. The Gita will come at the time it has to come into the life. But maybe try practicing some principles and see if she will automatically, your daughter, whether she will feel like reading the Gita. And you will not believe within a year, that mother shared how one difficult situation came on her family, and her daughter was surprised, Mother, how did you not get disturbed? I think in this situation you should have got disturbed. Something, where did you get the strength? Tell me. Then she said, Beta, this is Krishna's strength. And that was how she got introduced to the Gita. So this is the way we can actually, without having to disturb somebody's state of mind, by walking the talk also things can be done. Krishna goes on, he says, Mai sarvani karmani सन्न्यस्याध्यात्म चेतसा निराशीर निर्ममो भूत्वा युद्धस्व विगत ज्वरः. Consecrating your actions to me, the Supreme I. Meditate upon yourself, that is a part of me, without holding on to desires or prestige, without grief or remorse. Ready your weapons to lay siege. Our Krishna is again and again trying to Uttishta Arjuna, Uttishta Parantapa, Yuddha Swa, come on, get up and fight. Krishna is asking Arjuna to rise up. And here is something very beautiful he's saying, which is one of the important kriyas when we do meditation. Consecrating your actions to me, meaning offering all your actions to me. Me in the sense he's talking about the Supreme Divine. Meaning Krishna himself is saying he is in connection with the higher divine, or the higher divine is functioning through him. It's like he has got some Wi-Fi password and he is connected to some very special network only. And that is applicable for everyone. And it's very interesting how Krishna talks about that as if it's a third person and separate from him. It comes in so many places in Krishna's talks. Throughout the Gita, you will see he's not taking the credit. Even when the Anu Gita is before the beginning of the Anu Gita, the other shorter version of the Gita, that time also he says, that time Arjuna, I was yoga yukta. I was in a state of yoga. That time Arjuna was also receptive and I was also in that state of connection. So I could give you Srimad Bhagavad Gita at that time. Now you will not get the same Srimad Bhagavad Gita because the time is different and probably the frequency I am in now is different from the frequency I was in. I'll give you the same truth in a different way. I'll give it to you, and he gives a different version. Meaning, Krishna is also talking about himself being in that consciousness, which is that what we call the laya of that higher consciousness. Well, we should also try. And he says, how do we do that? Meditate upon yourself. That is a part of me. Understand. It is very difficult. I mean, me, divine, how is that possible? That question keeps coming, but still, in spite of that question, keep that question aside. Don't let that question create a bhed in your buddhi. Throw that question aside and sit quietly and try to figure out what part of me is a part of the divine. Or if you don't want to figure out, just have the Shraddha in the words of Krishna that a part of me is part of the divine, and sit quietly, he says. And at that time, you get the understanding. He says, without holding to desires or prestige, what big name you're going to get, how much praise is going to come from people, or what my life aspirations, all that aside, without grief, without remorse, stand up like a warrior, like a fighter you are. Stand up is what Krishna is saying here. He goes on further. Ye me matamidam nityam अनुतिष्ठन्ति मानवाः श्रद्धावन्तो न सूयन्तो मुच्यन्ते तेऽपि कर्मभिः. So these people also become free from karma bandhanas. Who are they? Those amongst men who thus regularly perform and to my instructions they dutifully conform with the purest and blemishless devotion from karma's bondage, they attain redemption. Krishna is saying they also. Who are they also? For the first time, we see a nice super word or a powerful word of the Gita, that is Shraddha. Krishna says, those ones with Shraddha who are performing their duties regularly and they are following my instructions, they are following my words, means practicing what I have taught. When from all these people, when without means a perfect devotion, which is not having a slightest of flaw also, when they live by that, then he says they also get mukti. They also become free from these karma bandhanas. We'll look at what the word Shraddha is in probably in a few moments, but we'll look at one more shloka and we will stop at the 32nd shloka. Ye to etad abhyasuyanto.
Your voice is muted, sir.
Yes, your voice is not coming.
Is it audible now? All right. Yeah, I think the
Yes,
speaker ran out of energy. Yes. So Krishna says here, I think the shloka was audible or that was lost?
That is audible.
Okay. Okay, fine. ये तो एतद् अभ्यसूयन्तो नानुतिष्ठन्ति मे मतम् सर्वज्ञान विमूढांस्तान् विद्धि नष्टान् चेतसा. Those who lack the conviction and regard, and my instructions they bluntly disregard. From all knowledge, they are by ignorance deluded. From a growth in consciousness, they are excluded. Krishna is saying something which is sometimes, if you look at it, is it shocking? Because so far only Sanatan Dharma we have that freedom. Krishna is just giving such freedom everywhere. But now we see you don't follow. Is it like those certain cults? You don't follow what I'm saying, then you will get punished. If you don't follow this, you are going to suffer in hell. If you do something else opposite to what I say, you have insulted the divine. You are going to suffer. Now is Krishna doing the same thing here? Because he's saying those who don't follow without conviction and regard, and they don't follow these, they are not going to get any knowledge at all. Is it a curse or is it a cause and effect?
Consequence.
Yes, it's a consequence, as
It's a
Majid rightly
consequence.
said. It's a consequence, isn't it? Like when teacher says, homework nahi kiya to fail ho jaoge. You have not done homework, so you'll fail. That's not a, the student cannot say, see, that day the teacher gave shrap, that's why I failed. That teacher has told it's a consequence. If you don't study, you will fail. This is not a curse given by the teacher.
It's not
It is
a
as simple as that. Here,
It's
those
a
who,
warning.
yes,
It's a
absolutely.
warning.
Yes, it is. It is a warning, or more than there's no
it's a
threat in
fact.
this.
It's a
It is,
fact.
yes, yes. More than a warning, it is like, because warning has a threat. And
It is
Krishna,
a
if you
fact.
see throughout the Gita, he doesn't give any order to Arjuna. We throughout the Gita we see Krishna, he does not give a direct order at all to Arjuna. He gives advice, but he says you are free. Do what you want. And it will always be there only, that freedom. So here he says, what happens when you don't? Those who lack the conviction and regard. And my instructions they bluntly disregard. From all knowledge, they are by their ignorance deluded. From a growth in consciousness, they are excluded. That is all. Such a person will not get a chance to grow. That is all Krishna is saying. If you just, you will not get the higher experience of life. Your consciousness will not grow. You will never understand that there is a world beyond the world that you see also. That knowledge will never come to you if you just forget all of this, the principle of sacrifice, the principle of detachment. That is all that Krishna has told. It's
It's a
like,
truth.
yeah,
It's,
it's a truth.
it's
Once
a
you
truth.
touch the fire and your hand will get burnt, no?
Yeah.
When I was very young, one bhaiya told me to touch the fire, and I was stupid enough to follow that. And then I learned. I remember crying and going to my parents because I touched the fire, but at least I got the knowledge later, isn't it? My sister was wiser. She didn't burn her hand like me to understand fire is going to burn. But that is all Krishna is talking about. But there was an important point in the previous shloka that Krishna talked about Shraddha. This is a shloka which is going to come, this word is going to come to us again and again. This word Shraddha will come, now it has been introduced. Uh, it is not just in English, we don't have enough words to translate it. You can call it love, you can call it devotion, can call it um, what other words we want. But Shraddha is something which is very, very innate for each person. Each person can have a different type of Shraddha, but Shraddha is something which is very pure. It's like a combination of all the good words we can think of in terms of, like, for devotion, love, all of that. And see, Krishna is said here, if you have this, very beautifully, he says, if you have this with regular, you're doing karma with full sincerity,
You
you're doing that.
religiously follow the Krishna's instructions. That's the thing.
Yes, you follow it.
Religiously follow.
Yes. If somebody is Nastic also, it is not a problem for Krishna. But you follow with love. May most important thing he's saying, you principle also means it's something which is we will take some time maybe when Krishna gives more details about this word Shraddha. But here we see it is something when you do something with that wonderful conviction, which is having no slightest doubt also in your heart, with a very good feeling of love. Even that can give you the same mukti that great yogis are claiming to have got. That is something very interesting. It's like you're playing a game and you've got a cheat code suddenly. You don't know what it's like. You don't know Vedas, you don't know, you have not learned so much, you have not got such great experience, you've not got great capacity. It's all right. If you can love the divine with full sincerity and do your action to the best of your abilities, that also is enough, is what Krishna says. That will also see you through. How, what, and we'll have to see what our Arjuna is going to say, because Krishna is now not talking too much metaphysical truths. He's talking practical only, no? So far in this adhyaya, when we see that. So it will be easier for Arjuna to understand, isn't it? Because it's better than the metaphysical truths of Atman and other things. So now just one question. Again, Arjuna will share us his report card immediately. But how much on a scale of 10? What will we give Arjuna? How much has he understood? Anybody? What do you think?
4.
Okay, Vejamaji has given 4. Okay, anybody else?
5 maybe.
4, 5. Okay, Shashiji? Yes?
I
5.
said 3. He's
3.
advancing slowly but surely. Yeah.
Okay, so you are confident, but he's not fully understood what Krishna has said. Let us see.
Yes.
And let us see how Krishna reacts, no, to Arjuna when he says this. If he says he's not understood after such a simple, nice explanation by Krishna, let us
Krishna
see.
is not doing Buddhi Bhed, na? That's why.
Okay, that's an interesting point. All right, so let us see. We will stop at this point today. That this shloka number 32, where Krishna has said that if you don't have any shraddha, you don't have the conviction, then you will lose the chance to grow. It's the same thing. Like if you're not now, for example, Dinesh ji told about the gym, the example from he's got 15 years of experience there. If somebody does not have a passion and sincerity to do the work, how will that person grow? Cannot grow, isn't it? It is just as simple as that. Krishna has said, you do not have the conviction, you do not do sincerely, you don't do karma, you don't take action, then you will lose the chance to experience growth towards the higher consciousness, which is there in this world. Maybe we are oblivious to it. We don't understand it. Just because we don't understand it does not mean it doesn't exist. But maybe you will never get a chance to get it if you don't take this experience. You don't do tyaga, you don't do sacrifice, then you will not get it, is what Krishna has told. So with this, we are ready to conclude. If somebody can just share some of the points, practical points that what we covered today, which we can take home so that it will remember
Sir,
it.
sir,
Yes,
I
sir.
have queries if you allow me to ask.
You're most welcome, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sir, now as we were talking about Buddhi,
Yeah.
the question is like, if the person to whom we are not attached, we can easily let go that person. Okay.
Ah,
But now let's say I have my own brother. He is
Yeah.
now 31 years of age. He
Okay.
just eats and sleep. Don't do any
Yeah.
household work. Neither
Yeah.
he do any job. Neither he perform any work of home. He
Yes,
just
because
eat
our
and
session
sleep.
is recorded. Yes, sir, just one moment. Because our session is recorded, we can say Dinesh ji is talking hypothetically. Yes, sir. Please continue. Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Yeah.
Uh,
Now the concern is we continuously tell him like you should be doing something at least. He is neither studying, not doing anything. He,
okay.
despite of eating and sleeping, he is not doing anything, and he is now about to be 32. Now in that case, what should be done? Can we let it go?
No, that will increase. We will see that will just further take tamas. So we will have to find a way. But if that person
Yes,
doesn't listen to you, you will have to find a way to make that person listen to somebody he listens to.
we have tried so many ways. Like we
Okay.
have attempted like hundred of times we have attempted. By favoring he wanted to say that yeah now I want to do engineering. He leaves some other faculty in middle, and now we allow him to do
Yes,
engineering.
sir.
He
In our
he
in our village also we have this. We have so many times nowadays because of technological advantage. There's a disadvantage that people don't get that drive to work hard. So the simplest thing we had told was there are no freebies available. You'll have to start earning what you are if you are because a person has got very satisfied and a person is very much not willing to go like in our village this person's parents are earning very hard. One of them work in a factory and this person says I want a iPhone without earning anything. I
correct.
mean that is now the simple thing is they made him understand the value of work. So somehow miss nothing is going to come freely. You do this much. If you make that slowly, it will not happen immediately. But little by little, these are the steps. If this is not done, certain lines will have to be drawn. How to draw the lines? It depends on case to case basis. Some people
Okay,
listen to strictly. Sometimes people are shaken. I think as an instructor, you know, no? You want some of the people, क्या तुमसे 10 किलो भी उठा नहीं सकते? You tell that person. Within 1 week, 1 month, you will see that person lifting 30 kilos also, no?
correct.
That is how you right. That fire has got converted into which is the fire of we can say either even if the Rajasic fire is required or a Sattvic fire is required, that has now got hidden in Tamas. This is later on in the Gita we will see about gunas. But the letting status quo will not help. Status quo should be broken, but the way it should be broken, we have to figure out a way slowly. But not doing anything will not work, and we have to attempt. We
Yeah,
have to
and
attempt.
one more thing, uh, like we were saying like we are just a medium,
Hmm.
and uh, God
Yeah.
is the ultimate one
Yes,
who
sir.
is doing through us. This is
Ji.
philosophy we are going through. We
Hmm.
know, still we keep using I did this because of my act. We have got this much benefit or whatever. In the context, the word
Hmm.
me done
Yes.
by me is not leaving the person. How we should practice to overcome this ahankar or ego that it was done by me. How should we practice this?
Beautiful question. So this is something which every one of us have to realize it. But in the Gita, as we go ahead, Krishna is going to share some more techniques also, and we will understand little bit more. And Krishna will also tell that Ahankar is part of Srishti. Means this is in the Kshetra when he describes that this is one mana buddhi ahankar. Every human being is going to have this. So when is
Yes,
it good? When is it good? There is when is ahankar going to become swabhiman? When is ahankar going to become arrogant pride? Those are fine lines. We will just see. Right now, we have to just see how much Arjuna is going to accept because Arjuna will probably not really accept too much of what Krishna has said. This is कितना practical हो मुझे पता नहीं is something is that is one thing Krishna is going to keep receiving from Arjuna until Arjuna is able to understand certain things. So we will see, sir. But
okay.
it's a very
Thank you so much.
important question, and
Thank you so much.
I think that is a question which sometimes we have to strive all our lives, sir.
Yes,
Meaning
yes,
people working in the biggest positions, people who have reached the highest stages also. People who, like one person got invited as a guest. I know that person closely. That person is a very elderly person who gives such great talks of selflessness. That person got invited in the last minute to a program about kindness, and that person says, I am the right person to be there. I am the right person to be invited. I know I am the person. I mean, look at that dialogue. Somebody has invited, you are taking that I am the right. I am. See, the I has not gone. No?
That I
correct,
is not
correct, sir.
gone.
This happens daily. I
His
Yes,
mean,
it will
ego is not
happen.
even
gone.
We
we
should
know.
ensure it. We should ensure that when it does not happen to us, and we can keep trying. We have to become alert. But that's a point which we should all aspire in our lives.
That to leave
Absolutely.
that I.
Yeah, yeah. We have, and it is to continuously practice. Like warm up is required every time
Correct.
before exercising. No matter how great we can say how great a lifter is, without warm up, no matter how powerful muscles are, any sprain can happen, and no matter
Correct.
how much muscles become strong, ligaments will not lose their
Correct.
their. They have to. They will be that strong only, whatever it is, the inherent. So probably that's a good point we have to try to see. We'll see, sir, but it will become easy
Practice.
when the Krishna later on in the Gita he just makes it simpler as we go on. Yes, sir. So
Yes.
if
Thank you,
somebody
sir.
can share some of the points which we took, some of the points which we can take home, and maybe three, 4 points. Yes, Pallavi is adding something. Yes, ma'am.
I have a question.
Yeah, yes, please.
So you you have shared a scenario where a person has like when two persons have opposite thoughts and then one has to be
Mhm.
implemented. Uh, you're getting my point.
Yeah, yeah,
And the
yeah,
thing is,
yeah.
if that person, the
If,
person who is in authority,
hmm,
uh, is doing something wrong and you know it,
yeah,
but he has the authority over you, and you have to go with his idea, which you know is morally wrong.
yeah.
uh and if I don't follow him, it would cost me something. It would cost me something I wouldn't want to lose.
Great point. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
So what
in
do we
that
do then?
situation, in that
Hmm.
situation, should I choose myself or should I?
No, no, that is important. That's a very good point. Swadharma is always important. Swadharma is important, but like we have spies now living in, we have now in enemy countries, no? There, what happens? They have to now work in that place according to the rules of that place, though they should not lose their own personal connect. Means the example I can think of is in my college, one professor was there. He would make the students paint their homes. Project guide is calling the people, paint my room, and then I will give you the project internals. Otherwise, I will not give. Now, this is absolutely against the Swadharma. Some of us knew this person and we knew how to avoid. We just did not approach that person. But my friend said he is one teacher who will give marks in the end. He will make you stretch. He will make you do all nonsense. But they said, I want the marks. I don't want knowledge. Then they went and they started painting. So they were frustrated by it, but somehow that semester they decided we will do something and we will go ahead. But like you said, if the authority, how much authority is being bypassed and what are the consequences of it? We have to stand up if it is becoming nowhere can we, if the no matter what a person in authority, the person draws a line or you know, crosses the line, then we cannot tolerate it. Like one person talked about some slurs being used by a guide. That person talked absolutely bad language, which is actually illegal to even speak in such a manner. And this person was like a sister to me. She said, "What should I do?" I said, "I cannot do anything because he's going to destroy my career if I take up action." So the simplest thing was, I said, at least you don't let those thoughts come inside of your head. And second is keep your audio phone on recording every time you go. Keep your phone on recording so that you will have some evidence tomorrow if this has crossed your level of capacity of bearing. you are going to be wisely protecting yourself from that. So, Pallavi, we should not, in principle, we should try to find a way. Either you leave that person's control if you are by system, because sometimes in organizations insist you have system, then just don't get disturbed by that person and don't allow that person to cross a particular line. Yes.
But what if it's not harming me, but it's harming people? I mean, it's on the larger scale. It's
No, no, it
not.
is wrong. It is still wrong, Nuji. It is injustice, like
So,
in a
but yeah, what should I do? If I oppose him, I lose my job.
because
If
do you know the
we,
story of Karna? Pallavi, do you know the story of Karna? He didn't do anything wrong. He didn't do anything wrong, but he served a wrong
Yes.
group, isn't it? If, we will have to figure out. You will probably try to find other opportunities. If something is leading to bad to greater people, we are unknowingly contributing. No? Karna can write his
so
own
I was
memoir.
asked.
Yes, yes.
So it's a good thing to leave a job than to do the wrong thing.
Yes, yes,
That's what
absolutely,
you would
absolutely,
suggest.
absolutely. Well, just one example. Yes, one example from before the COVID times. One participant in USA, she left her he left her city in India to work abroad, and there the boss in charge was misbehaving, crossing the line. But this girl felt like she is in a catch-22 situation because her family requires the money that she is going to earn, and she's getting exploited. And she was not, she even said that, I said, you should let your family know first of all. She said, family knows, but they don't care much because they want the money. Now, the family should actually stand for her, no? Then that was, and then her friend had only suggested and shared about it because the person's look, the face has changed, the person is having dark circles, and the person is losing all the interest. Then that was a very impressive. This is a line which is crossed, which is not to be accepted even for one moment. How can this go on for a longer period? And so that person decided that, irrespective, though my family needs that money, they are not following Swadharma and she cannot sacrifice herself for it. So she actually resigned that job, and it was just during the pandemic period. And she came back to the country, and her home did not take her back because you were selfish. And you
I
know
think
what
the
she did after that?
selfishness.
You know,
Selfishness.
yes, they were selfish, but they were gaslighting her into believing she is selfish when she has taken a decision for she then started from scratch. She did not get that field. She started working in a call center, living in a hostel, but her life started from scratch, and she's like so happy. She says, my salary is very less. I am not getting even 1/10 of what I was there, but I am now a free person.
Yeah, money is
So
not everything sometimes. Yeah.
yes, 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 yes. So this is important because Karna never made any mistake. In the end, he told that only, no? What wrong did I do? Well, he can write very good memoirs if he wants, but actuality, what Karna has done is he has
He
supported a
was the
wrong
right
cause.
person in the wrong party.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Rightly said by Gayatri ji. So we should look at alternatives, Pallavi ji, because we cannot, if we are not directly leading to somebody's harm, but indirectly causing somebody's harm, it is still a karma which will come to us some way or the other without our knowledge. Yes. All right,
Yeah,
ji.
thank
So
you.
thank you, thank you. I think with this we are, if in short, if you want to just look at these other things, Krishna talked about the motivation. He talked about motivation is betterment of the world. He talked about being the example, yat yat acharati shrestha. Sometimes one person is an example, isn't it? There's one video of a person who is unknown standing up to a tank that is related to some revolts which were taken place in China. And he is standing up to the tank alone and full attention. And for a few moments, the tank stops in front of him. Look at the stand. Elsewhere, so many else people are there who take a stand. So Krishna says, become the example, become the leader. Look at me. I stand for, I become suddenly from emperor, I become driver. Then I listen to one crying Arjuna inside of the battlefield with my Narayani Sena on the other side. Why? Because I have to uphold duty. And then while upholding duty, don't create divide. Like if you are going to, for instance, you don't have to reveal your cards to the other person also. You can do it smartly, like an intelligent person. You just find your best way to move forward because you want to move ahead and do the right thing. That is one thing Krishna talked about. And the last part was ego makes a person think he is doing everything, but it's actually a play of the forces of the world and the divine. Let us align with the divine and watch the transformation. So yes, please, Pravina ji wants to share something. After that, we conclude with the Shanti Mantra.
Yes. Whenever we are short of time, like last time, we shared the summary on the WhatsApp group.
Yes,
It
ji.
was a very good idea and a good practice. I did not know, like here we don't meet our classmates, no?
Yeah,
But I
no, it
was
will be
really
very
impressed.
nice.
I was really impressed by this lady Pallavi. Today I see she's a small girl, and I
No,
think
that's so lovely. They say dharma vruddheshu ayaha na samikshate. So somebody on the path of dharma, if somebody is having dharmic experience, age is not a factor at all. And
no,
I
that's
think,
but she's
yeah,
very really she is very beautifully summarized, and
yes,
I
ji.
think everybody should get a chance to do that because some people
Yes.
may not talk out openly. Along with this summary, we continue summarizing in the group also. That's all was my
Yes,
suggestion.
absolutely. Jay, and really speaking, at the end of this workshop, if everybody keeps their notes or they're taking notes and you want to share with friends also, it's nice. Each person can have your own book in the end.
Yes.
Quite a few participants have written commentaries of their own, what they have understood, and they have actually more than my book, that books have gone very well in so many places because they have really given some nice, insights which are useful for people. So please feel free to share our
We
group
spoke
because
so much about sharing.
yeah,
I
yeah,
would like to share this painting which my daughter has done.
so beautiful, Ji. Thank you.
Krishna's painting.
Please feel free to share it on the group also. And everybody, I think, as Pravina Madam has shared, our group is open and it will be active till the workshop goes on.
Yeah, I'll
So
share
let
it in the
us
group
try
also.
to make the most of it because we all have different experiences and we can together move ahead then with each other's, help and push. So I think with this we conclude our today's session. Hari Om.
Thank you.
Sarve bhavantu sukhinah. सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् हरि ओम तत्सत् कृष्ण वन्दे जगद्गुरुं हरि ओम
Hari Om.
पुनर्मिलामः we see you tomorrow
Hari Om.
नमस्कार
Hari Om.
Hari
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 Om.
Om. Hari Om.
हरि ओम
Hari Om, sir. Thank you.
हरि ओम हरि ओम
Hari Om.
हरि ओम
हरि ओम।
नमस्कार नमस्कार हरि ओम